Right, recording is on. This afternoon, I'm very pleased to have Tony Lau, Managing Director of one of the IT consulting and system integration firm in Hong Kong. He's actually overseas at the moment, but I recall Tony, as a professional, has completed, successfully completed more than a dozen MOOC courses. Now, MOOC is a very new concept, so I'd like to ask Tony, what is MOOC, M-O-O-C, and what's your learning experience after taking, a dozen MOOCs in the past 12 months? Thank you, MOOC. Thank you, Tony.
Okay. Thanks, Prof. Choi. Thanks for your invitation. Actually, MOOC, M-O-O-C is the acronym for Massive Massive Open Online Courses. As a matter of fact, it's getting more and more focused, in this couple of years. In terms of the massive, we are talking about unlimited participations. Open, we are talking about open access. Online, the whole delivery of the courses are via the web. Okay, we can see the focus nowadays. For example, from the New York Times, they dubbed the 2012 as the year of the MOOC. There are key providers of MOOC. Most of them nowadays are associated with top universities, including platforms like edX, Coursera, and Udacity platforms. More and more are coming up, such as University from Germany. To give you an idea how massive we are talking about on the participation, in the fall of 2012, Stanford University launched its first MOOC, had enrollment reaching 160,000 students. On the other hand, the courses allows the students with open access to the MOOC. They can enroll or unenroll a course anytime they like.
Thank you, Tony. Now, I am led to believe that there's a significant dropout rate for people who have, started MOOC and never complete them, and that dropout rate amounts to something like 97%. So it's really a wow. I'm very impressed and admired about your stamina to carry forward and complete your dozens of MOOC courses. So I'm interested to know, what carries your motivation and stamina to keep taking these MOOC courses and complete them.
Okay, maybe first of all, I can share my learning experience to start with so far. Okay, in a word, I can use the word fantastic. The learning experience is so fantastic. I can gain a lot of pleasure with no pressure. Why? Because of total freedom. I can choose from a large variety of courses, including subject areas that I have interest to explore, but no offerings locally in Hong Kong before. Also, we can free to choose at no cost. We can have free access to the content, freedom to drop out anytime we like. Okay? So pleasure with no pressure, which is important with the freedom. Secondly, I realized from my learning experience, which I agree with, the world is flat because I can interact with the top professors, researchers, and students from different parts of the world with different demographic, social, and cultural backgrounds. Thirdly, the co-learning experience, which allow me to have collaboration with social media, like Facebook. Students, they create study groups and allow other students to join together to share on top of the discussion forums. Fourthly, the whole course contents are delivered 100% online, which give me all the course contents that I can go through anytime, anywhere. Okay? That's the reason why nowadays I always bring along my iPad with me. Also, with a large amount of online resources are provided in the, from the course content, which allow me to have a lot of resources on hand instead of the limited resources that we can gather from traditional courses in the university campus. Okay. Fifthly, there is a key takeaway for me, which is the inspiration. Learning through inspiration allows me going through the video lectures which gave me basic backgrounds, which is good enough for me to carry out further study with the online resources that are provided. Then we can also share our ideas with the, I would say, the global think tank with 10,000 or 20,000 of others through the discussion forums, the study groups, and the peer group assignments. Especially, it would be a very effective way for the students to discuss over the forum. For example, one example being, well, we discuss the answers to the assignment questions by sharing the logics behind from different students, how they come up with their answers, and then collaborate and converge to one answer at the end after the collaboration. Okay, so as a whole, apart from the freedom, I can have a very good idea nowadays on the fact that knowledge is really borderless.
Thank you, Tony. That's a very impressive, admirable record as well. Now, obviously, with your completion of a dozen courses, you probably have, to work with many of those MOOC platforms before. So we are very interested in tapping into your experience and sharing about how's pedagogies, e-assessments, and various types of authentication mechanisms actually pan out on various platforms, because obviously these things and more are pivotal to the success of governing the equality of education being delivered via technology. So over to you, Tony, please.
Okay. In terms of the pedagogy, because most of the courses that I have attended and are available are actually range from 4 to 12 weeks of course contents, and they are usually organized by weeks. For the practical, for the means of delivering the course contents, in most of the cases they are in video lectures. Okay, for video lectures, it allows allowing students to replace as many times as they like. There are different types of video lectures offering. Some of them are just a recording of the classroom lectures in the campus. Some of them are studio recordings, which are just a normal studio quality type of recording. And some of them even include the site visits. For example, in one of the evolution classes, there are video tour of the Museum of the History for the human evolution. So there are different varieties of trial by different platforms. Apart from that, apart from the video lectures, there would be video tutorials, which in most of the cases are organized by the teaching assistants, okay, which can help us in solving difficult questions. Plus, there would be labs. Labs, there are two parts of labs. Some of them are flash-based technology, using the flash-based technologies, so that you can do simulation as part of the lab exercise. And then on some of the courses I came through, there would be DIY labs. They would provide you some sources that you can purchase some kits, so that you can do your own experiments at home and share the results afterwards. Apart from the provided video contents and the lab contents, there would be a lot of online resources, like articles, like YouTube videos, websites, and even with some websites which got a lot of fresh cards for you to refresh your memory. Okay, that would be very impressive. And even one of the courses I have taken now, they offer a mobile app that you can install on your phone, which provide a lot of calculators or tools that you can learn on the subject area. Okay. For collaboration, majority of the media would be the discussion forum. Apart from that, people can share their ideas via Facebook. If they want to meet up, there would be a meetup.com, so that people can meet up locally and form their own meetup groups. Finally, like the campus like the campus offerings, there would be textbooks, but this is not as important as before. It would be, in most of the cases, for our reference only. Okay. And for the textbook, in most of the cases, I found they will provide free viewing of the textbooks through the offering platforms in most of the MOOCs. That would be one of the reasons why I can have a very good motivation in terms of the MOOC journey. Maybe I can also share a little bit on my MOOC journey, why I have motivations to complete 12 courses in 12 months. Okay. To give you some of my background, I'm a lifelong learner with 30 years plus experience on IT. I graduated from PolyU in 1982 with background on math, statistics, and computing. Okay. I learned about MOOC from magazines in early 2013, in last year, and started my first course in March on Secret of Life offered by MIT, which are in relation to DNA. To look at my motivation, I can split my journeys so far into 3 stages. The first stages, the first of the stage would be the exploration stage, where I'm actually have a lot of excitement on experiencing the new learning mode, which is the MOOC, because it's new to everybody. And also, the key motivation to me at that stage would be getting certificates from top universities. It's a bit like a dream to me. Okay. And actually, after I got my first cert, I'm so proud to share my first cert and class photo from MIT in Facebook. And then after the exploration stage, I then went into another, the second stage, I would name it as specialization, where I have developed my interest on a particular area. In my case, I have developed my interest on DNA-related studies, including genetics, human evolutions, neuroscience, and healthcare. Of course, it's too late for me, okay, to become a medical doctor, but I can make use of my statistics and IT background to drill into the bioinformatics discipline. So that's the reason why at the moment I'm taking at any one time at least 2 to 3 courses at the same time. Okay. And recently, as I would name myself entering into my first stage, I call it habituation, where taking the MOOC courses become part of my life. Actually, it helped me develop a very good innovative thinking, a habit on reading scientific magazines. And also, I have a target right now, a very clear target right now. Or maybe you can name it as a wish for me to develop a new bioinformatics algorithm on DNA research. Not because I'm aiming at getting a reward, but to contribute to the society in appreciation to the MOOC offering to me so far. So that would be a lot of motivation to me to carry on with the journey. Okay. But as a matter of fact, Prof. Choi just mentioned that the dropout rates are pretty high as 97%, right? Yeah. And actually for me, I've also dropped out from some of the classes. Maybe I can share with you why I do that. Because for some of the courses, just looking at the course overview, okay, it may be I have some thinking about I can manage it. But at the end, I found the time required would be more than I expected. Or I actually going, with wrong classes. So that's the reason why I drop out from there. Okay. In some cases, the learning experience is not satisfactory as I expected. For example, the course contents are too deep for me. So I need to go back to some other MOOC courses for basic knowledge, like I have to refresh my knowledge on calculus. Okay. And also there would be too much effort required that is out of my capacity. Like in some of the courses, it requires a lot of programming assignments. Okay. But actually, there are one more fact is because the MOOC offering is at low cost, it's free. So that's the reason why in sometimes if when I have some other reasons like I mentioned before, I would think, oh, because it's free, I'll drop it out and try something else. Okay? But in most of the cases, I didn't drop it right away. I'll switch with another study mode because there would be another mode we call it auditor. Auditor mode means you can go through the course content without doing the assignment, without going through the exams. Okay? And actually, I found quite a number of students, they do it that way. Okay? And even some of the courses, I just download it and reserve it in my repository for future studies. Okay? And so far I can see, in order to reduce the dropout rate, the providers have been working very hard on giving a lot of incentive. For example, in my first MOOC, the MIT DNA class, they offer to those students who can pass and got a certificate to be signed by Professor Eric Lander, who is one of the leaders in the Human Genome Project, plus a class photo mosaic of DNA, okay, in a magazine. So that's the reason why I can see a lot of students, they work very hard on passing the course. And as a result, there are, out of the 40,000 enrolled students, 3,000 has passed and got the certificate. I'm lucky I'm one of them.
That's wonderful. In fact, this very last statistics give us joy and elevations, because it sounds like something like 8 to 9%, much higher than the 3% that typically have completed. Now, among your generous sharing in the last 10 minutes, you also mentioned about the joy of taking a course from one of the Ivy League institutions like MIT. So that leads me to asking the last question, which is, how do you what's your view about how to select courses among various institutions in order to pick the best out of breed in terms of quality, in terms of any other sort of criteria? Do you always pick your courses from the Ivy League universities, or you think that some other universities also may have a niche or have strong reasons for a learner to pick them and take their MOOC courses?
Actually, to answer your questions, remember I mentioned about the 3 stages. Actually, at the first stage, for exploration, I actually have that sense in my mind. I'm always looking for the top universities like Stanford offerings, MIT, or Harvard offerings. But after this, I went into the second stage of specialization. I start selecting the courses, going around the subject areas that I have focused on, and then try to look for good quality courses instead of looking for top universities. Okay? From my experience, actually not necessarily the top universities will offer the top quality. A lot other universities, they are also offering very good quality, like the Peking universities, like some other courses that I've taken from other universities. Actually, they have done a lot of very good research on these specific areas. Okay, my advice to you, if you're coming up to try with the MOOC, do take advantage of the MOOC nature. Do a try and go. Try some of the courses. If you don't like, you can drop, and then quickly move into the specialization, and then try to find more quality courses that you can learn from there. Because the whole thing is the learning, to get the new learning experience so that you can enjoy the knowledge is borderless, okay? The sense on that I have achieved, okay? So finding the courses that fit your learning mode and objective is the most important part of taking any MOOC courses.
Wonderful. Tony, I can't thank you enough for your sharing, generous sharing, and very, very informative for us for us as a committee, as a university, to plan our MOOC journey. So no doubt we'll be coming back to you for more guidance and advice as well. So at this moment, I'd like to formally close this interview, and thank you, Tony, for taking time during his busy overseas trip to record this interview for us. So once again, thank you, Tony.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks a lot.